We got the announcement this week that James Gunn's DC Studios, DC Universe is greenlighting a Sergeant Rock film.
Well, I wouldn't say it's greenlit.
Well, I would say it's greenlit only because they have a finished script. They have an actor, they have a director. That feels like it's pretty greenlit to me. If that's all true. Yes, like James Gunn hasn't officially said anything.
I mean, it says no deals have been inked between DC Studios, Craig, and then the director.
Oh, okay. So maybe not greenlit, but they at least have the actor in mind, the director in mind, and a finished script. And you know, I know James Gunn recently said he wouldn't greenlight anything until they have a finished script and they're happy with it. So if it is greenlit, it's going to be greenlit soon. But yeah, this is the from the same director who did, you mentioned earlier, Queer. That is Luca Guadagnino.
You can do it.
Yeah, I think I got it. Luca Guadagnino. And so this Sergeant Rock film is being written by also the person who wrote Queer. And I haven't seen Queer. I haven't really done any research on that movie.
Don't believe it's out yet.
Oh, it's not even out yet. Okay. I saw some of the trailer, and I will say, like, for context, Sergeant Rock is a DC superhero type character that is a World War II soldier, and so that's going to take place in the 40s, 50s, and you know, this movie Queer, I guess, took place in like the 50s in Mexico. I think like the look and like the cinematography feels like you could bring that over to Sergeant Rock in a sense. Like the world feels right for that. And so like I definitely don't hate that, like, you know, going back to this pairing of you know, Luca and Daniel Craig and then the same writer. Like if the movie's even good. But yeah, I think this is surprising to all of us if this is like one of the first 10 projects at the DCU. But it's like, it's a pretty cool character. I don't know if you know much about Sergeant Rock.
I mean, not particularly, other than he's fights in World War II.
Right.
And he's, you know, there was at least 2 movies that were in the works, where one where Arnold Schwarzenegger was going to be Sergeant Rock, the other one where Bruce Willis was going to be Sergeant Rock.
Were these recently or
no? Okay. I believe they were back in more like the 80s, their heyday.
Okay, because like that's when the original comic was coming out, from like the late 70s to the late 80s.
Yeah. Well, at least, but I guess his character first appeared in 59.
Yeah. And then he got his own series in like 78 or something.
Yes. And I mean, I'd be curious to know if they would set it strictly in World War II, or if they would bring this into a more contemporary time period, like the 2000s or even current day.
I feel like they would go. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, and maybe this isn't a factor, but I do feel like, you know, the director and Daniel Craig coming off of this movie in a very similar time period has to say something in my mind. You know, that they're passionate about making something kind of around that same kind of time period. But if not, I do believe like it could be very similar to how the MCU handled Captain America, where
freeze him, maybe
not freeze him, but maybe there's some reason like he doesn't age at a certain point.
Well, what I would like to know is, I think this is a cool idea. And I think this is like another thing that's like, yeah, more of this. Like, you know, when somebody goes to the movie theater and they're like, like some dude's like, oh my God, Sergeant Rock. Oh my God, dude, that movie looks so badass. And then, you know, they like, or like some, you know, your dad, you know, like your boomer dad is like, I see there's this World War II movie coming out. I kind of want to watch it. And then they see the DC Studios logo and they're like, it's a comic book, you know, like I think
right.
that would be like a really cool as obviously as long as the story is really good.
Right.
I think that would be really cool because like I think most people think of comic books and they go, oh, it's a superhero. But like I've been reading DC. I mean, granted, a lot of them are based off of superheroes, but like I just finished a DC Black Label book, which was Day Tripper, and that had nothing to do with superheroes, but it was amazing. Nice. It was beautiful, and that's what a lot of different independent comics are, and or graphic novels are as well. And that'd be cool because you don't see Marvel really taking from any of their catalog that is not exactly superhero related.
Right. Something with a cape or a suit or but like, and by all means, this guy isn't really a superhero. I mean, like he's got superhuman abilities, but it's not like he goes out and fights crime. He's in a war. And
I'm like, I wouldn't put it past them to just be like, you know, it fits into the world, but it doesn't need to like continue on. Like it's a story we wanted to tell. It's staying.
It can be set in our universe, but we don't need to continue it.
Right? Yeah, like it's staying in the 40s, you know. And that's like maybe we could mention him. Maybe if we ever have flashbacks to an earlier time period, you know, hey Daniel, do you want to come just do this cameo real quick?
Maybe he'd be down, right? If he loves the character.
So I wouldn't put him past them to just keep it in World War II,
right?
Make it this because do you know if he interacts with superheroes or is it just primarily war story stuff?
So there's one version of the character that like at the end of World War II. So I think this is also such a badass line, but like he apparently like in one version dies at the last bullet fired in World War II.
Oh,
like
wow.
he's like the last death of World War II.
Jeez.
The other version is that he lives and like, works for the government like secretly, but then like also, down the line, like teams up with Batman and Superman and like, fight some crime with them, I guess. And so
like aged 80 or 90?
I don't know how he's staying the same age. They don't ever explain that, I guess. I don't know.
Is he like Wolverine and just slowly ages?
Maybe they'll add that in so Daniel Craig can keep playing the character.
Maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind the character dying if it's like that cool. But yeah, I think it would be a little awkward seeing him like with other DC superheroes, and he's just like got a soldier uniform on and a gun,
I mean, I agree, but is it that much different than Rick Flag Sr.?
Sure, it's not.
Right.
Yeah. And I think it would be very cool to see like these abilities in live action or like in a movie. And for context, like he's got the ability to like shoot with like incredible accuracy. Like they described how not like that, but like he can shoot down a plane with a submachine gun. And he's got like super like endurance and vulnerability. And so like he's able to survive like freezing cold temperatures and take a bunch of bullets and like, so.
All right. Well, at that point, I mean, it would be a very heightened kind of reality for sure at that point. Yeah.
Right. But I think they would have to explain something to do with the fact that like he's able to go the extra mile in like every part of his life, Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like something that like Edgar Wright would direct. Like it sounds like a souped up Kingsman,
I could kind of see that. Yeah. I'm glad it's not him directing it, but I could see it.
I mean, I love Edgar Wright. I just, some of his movies don't hit.
Right.
Like Argyle.
Yeah. Or from what I heard, The King's Man wasn't very good either. So
I actually enjoyed that more than the second Kingsman.
Okay. Yeah. I heard the second Kingsman wasn't good either, but yeah, I've only ever seen the first.
I mean,
I feel like it's good to stop there at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be disappointed if you watch The Kings. I mean, you're
right.
I'm getting off topic. But.
Yeah, it's fine. but yeah, no, I think it's a cool concept. I'm glad that it's this trio that's paired. It's like already been paired, so they have this chemistry and know how to work together. Cool that the script's been written, and I think it'd be a dope idea to see in live action. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's cool that the director apparently really liked the character and wanted to do something with the character, and specifically wanted to have it be Daniel who does it.
Yeah, and I guess like I'm happy with Daniel Craig. Like I think he's got the face for it, and I think like it'd be cool to see him in this. But I do think like he's already pretty up there, like in like mid to late 50s, I think. So I don't know if it necessarily works for like someone enlisting in 1942 to the army, but we'll see. I mean, he'd just be an older steel mill worker guy.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So
yeah.
No, yeah, I think it's a very exciting idea.
Yeah, I do too.